shared and is intended to guide and assist you in preparing a strong application, but no outcomes are assured. So let me start by telling you about myself. My name is Akriti. I'm born and brought up in Calcutta. I went to La Martiniere for girls. For my undergraduate, I went to New York University, where I graduated with a bachelor's in finance. And I've done my MBA from the Imperial College of London, finished it in 2023. And I have been working with St. Andrews for almost a year now. I'm located in Kolkata, so if you would, anyone would like to meet me in person, I do have monthly office hours, and I would be happy to meet you and guide you regarding your applications, whether it's to St. Andrews or to the UK in general. All right, let's get started. Studying in the UK. So, those of you who know, the UK is made out of 4 countries: Scotland, Ireland, England, and Wales. So across these 4 countries, you have 100 plus colleges and universities, some of which are the world's oldest and most prestigious universities. The UK is known for high academic standards and is respected globally. Typically, a master's program will be 1 year. Certain research masters or integrated masters might be longer, but a full-time master's program will typically be 1 year. There are 2 types of masters which are offered, which is the taught masters, which is things like an MSc, MA, or MBA, MLit. These are structured coursework assessments and with a dissertation at the end. Then you also have research masters, which focus on independent research, and that leads to a dissertation. The emphasis in the UK is on critical thinking, independent learning, research, and hands-on projects and internships. Everybody is concerned about if you're going to be, moving to the UK for studies. Everybody also wants to know about what will their prospects be regarding careers and how would the visa situation work after graduation. So I wanted to get this across in the start itself. In terms of your visa, the UK offers a graduate route work visa, which is available to all international students who complete a UK recognized degree. This allows students to stay and work in the UK for 2 years after completing their degree and 3 years if it's a PhD. This visa is applicable all across the UK, including Scotland. After you do your graduate visa, if it's the 2 years during that, once that's over, then you can transfer to a skilled worker visa, or you can transfer earlier also. A skilled worker visa has to be offered by a licensed sponsor who is a UK employer. It is valid up to 5 years, and there are various criteria that must be met in order to get this skilled worker visa. It is a tough visa to acquire, which is why the 2-year cushion of the graduate work visa is very important, and it allows you to get the job, get the employer's trust, and get the sponsorship as well. So these are your options and one of the pros of going to the UK if you're choosing it for your master's study. All right. How do we apply for a master's in the UK? So you have to make a list of the universities that you want to apply to. If any one of you have applied for an undergrad, you probably did it through the UCAS system, in which you apply to 5 universities in the same integrated platform. However, in masters, you have to apply to each university separately. You have to go to the university website and apply through that platform. In general, the requirements are an application form, your academic transcripts, including your class 10, 12, and your undergraduate transcripts. Anywhere between 1, 2, or 3 recommendation letters might be required. A CV is required. Statement of purpose, which is typically between 500 to 1,000 words. Application fee and English proficiency test, something like an IELTS or a TOEFL. Other colleges may also require GRE, GMAT. They might require some kind of portfolio, an interview, or financial information if you're applying for financial aid. So these are the general requirements. Now, in this presentation today, I will be going through some of the important aspects of these requirements one by one. So let's get to this. Academic requirements. Now, guys, this is the first screen. If you don't have the marks, then no matter what you do, you're not going to be eligible to apply to the top universities in the UK. So those of you who are like still studying, who are still giving exams, please focus on your marks. That's one thing nobody can help you with. That's something that you need to do yourself. Typically, the best colleges require first class degree, which in Indian terms means 70% and above. Most universities will also accept between 60 to 69%. Below 60% is what we are looking at, very niche programs or less competitive universities. The first aspect of the touch upon is the letter of recommendation. Letter of recommendation provides universities with insight into an applicant's academic abilities, personal qualities, and suitability for the chosen course. Typically, it's written by a subject teacher, counselor, or academic advisor who is familiar with the student's strengths and achievements. For a master's students, as I mentioned, 2 to 3 like a letter of recommendations may be required. The university will specify the number as well as who they want the recommendation from. For example, St. Andrews requires one letter of recommendation from an academic. So while other universities may also require one academic and one professional recommendation. So getting into that, tips for getting a good letter of recommendation. The first and the foremost thing is to choose the right referee, right? So if you're applying for marketing or if you're applying for economics, the ideal thing would be to choose your marketing or economics teacher if they know you well. However, if that teacher absolutely hates you and has a vendetta against you or you have not performed well in the class, please don't take a LOR from that teacher just for the sake of it. You will not get a good LOR. Choose someone who you have a good relationship with, who knows you, and who is going to be able to, you know, talk positively about you, highlight your strength. So that's the first thing, is to choose the right person who can give a good recommendation, right? The second thing is to make the job of the referee easier. So you should provide your CV to the referee and highlight the activities and the achievements that you have done, which they can, should they wish to, mention in their recommendation letter. So the referee should focus on qualities relevant to the course. For example, if you all are going to be going for a STEM course, then they should focus on analytical skills. Whereas if you're going for an arts course, then they should focus on creativity and innovation. Again, like I mentioned on the CV, you should highlight the examples of like projects, class participation, leadership roles, any kind of research project or certification courses that you have done. And it would be good if your referee can emphasize those and highlight that and talk about your suitability for the course as well as suitability to study in the UK. Can we mute everyone, please?
Yes, ma'am. Right.
I think there's a Vedansh which is unmuted. Can you please mute me? Yeah. All right. So then that was the letter of recommendation. Okay. Moving on. Personal statement. Now, guys, this is where I want to focus and present the bulk of my presentation should be on this. It's the most important piece of your application, apart from your grades. This is the only piece of writing that a student submits, and it is the one factor which helps you distinguish yourself from others. So if there are 5 students who have the same grades, all are like president of this club, president of that club, all are very like academically doing well. How do we as the university distinguish between person A, B, and C? We do that through the personal statement, okay? The personal statement is very crucial for you to show us who you are, why you want to study this subject, why you want to study at our university, and that will help us make a decision in your favor. So in personal statement, I would say for the UK, the focus is still on academics, okay? So 75% of the weightage should be on academics. Within academics, you should be touching upon why you're passionate about the subject you want to study. Why do you want to study that subject? How are you suited to study that subject? If you have any, super curriculars, which I will talk about a little bit later, if you have any super curriculars related to that subject, And what are your career goals and long-term objectives from pursuing this degree? So 75% of the weightage should be on this in these areas. Other components that you can mention in your SOP is that why this university, and you should talk about specific unique aspects of the university. Why the UK? You can talk about the UK's teaching style, research focus, and how it's aligned with your goals. You can touch upon briefly on any extracurriculars. And of course, if you have had any extenuating circumstances, you can feel free to mention that also. All right. So now in undergraduate, maybe some of you have applied for abroad and you have submitted a personal statement. In postgraduate, we call it statement of purpose. While both of those terms are kind of used interchangeably, there are slight differences. Personal statement typically we refer to for undergraduate, which is 4,000 characters, so a little bit more concise. And in an undergraduate context, we want you to be more personal and focus on your passion and interest. And you cannot talk about any university in specific because the same personal statement goes out to 5 universities. Whereas statement of purpose is for postgraduate studies. The emphasis should be on academic background, research interest, professional goals. Typically, as I mentioned, 500 to 1,000 words. It should be more formal and it should focus more on long-term career aspiration. And definitely it should be tailored to each specific university and each specific program. So those are the differences between personal statement and SOP. All right, the next one. So where do we start, right? Once you're writing your SOP, it can be extremely overwhelming. I understand that. So where do you start? Well, I would suggest that you start from the subject, right? You need to show deep understanding for the curriculum that you're going to be studying. So you should start researching. So if you're going to be studying finance, then you should know the main themes of the subject and the course. What are the specialization, the optional modules of specializations that you can take within a degree in finance? If there are any interdisciplinary links, so if you want to do finance with marketing or if you do finance with computer science, then you should look and research into what are these links. Um, Also, you can, do some research on research opportunities that are there for finance, any faculty collaboration. So you go to the university website. That is a huge source of information. You can check out the faculty names for your program and see what kind of research they are doing, what research they have published, what research is ongoing, and see if you're interested in being part of that research, should you get the opportunity to. Then also something to think about is to think about the current debate and current challenges in that field. So if you're talking about sustainability, maybe you want to be looking at carbon taxation or ways countries are trying to reduce their carbon footprint, right? And mention that in your in your SOP, because that will show that you are very much up to date with the subject of study. And finally, you also want to look at real world applications because you want to understand how your subject is applied in the real world, whether it is in industry, policy, or technology. So that's where you start. Now, these are 4 types of curriculars. Can I have a show of hands? How many people have heard of these 4 different types of curriculars? Co-curriculars, extracurriculars, supercurriculars, and in-curriculars. Oh, sorry, one sec. Can you still see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
I was trying to see if I could see the hands, but I couldn't see the hands. All right, okay. If you get any responses in the chat, please let me know because I'm not being able to see the chat box and the screen at the same time. So I'll
Sure,
keep
ma'am.
continuing. Okay. So there are 4 types of curriculars, extracurriculars, supercurriculars, in curriculars, and co-curriculars. Um, yeah. So this is just a fun exercise that I usually have. If you, I would like, people to unmute themselves and give me an answer. Can you categorize these activities from the point of view of a psychology student? So I would like you to categorize them as either supercurricular, extracurricular, co-curricular, or in curricular. Basketball. Just unmute yourself and answer because I can't really see the hands. Anybody? Okay. So we'll just jump to the answers. I'm not being able to see the chat box. So yeah, so there are four types of curriculars, as I said. Basketball is an extracurricular because it's not got anything related to your academic. Something like volunteering for a domestic violence NGO. If you're a psychology student, that is a super curricular because it is helping you increase your knowledge of the subject of study. A Coursera certification on neuroscience would be super curricular. Extra credit essay, that's in curricular because it's happening inside the classroom. Uh, Psychology president would be super curricular. Olympiad would be co-curricular, and so on and so forth. So to summarize, you have activities which you do inside the classroom in the formal curriculum, that's in curricular. Activities which complement the formal curriculum are called co-curriculars. This is like Olympiads and any like projects which you do, which formal certifications. Then activities which you do outside the formal classroom, which can be singing, dancing, a sport, some volunteer work. These are all extracurricular. The most important of all of these are super curriculars. These are things which you take up outside the classroom, but they deepen your subject specific knowledge. So like I mentioned, if you're doing if you're a psychology student and you're the president of the psychology club, if you're an entrepreneurship student and you have started a startup, if you're a medical student and you're doing an internship in the hospital. So these are all considered super curriculars. And the reason why I wanted you to know this difference is because in the UK SOP, we want you to emphasize super curriculars, right? In curriculars should not be mentioned at all because those are already reflected in your transcripts and in your CV. Co-curriculars can be mentioned, but very less. Extracurriculars also, they come under that 25% weightage component. The bulk of your anything which is non-academic or academic related should be super curriculars, and that should be coming in the 75%, which is the bulk of your SO. Okay. So now we have a lot of, we read thousands of SOPs every cycle, okay? And we have a lot of people making claims that I am hardworking, I am good in communication. The way to think about this is that I'm not asking you to not make those claims and not highlight what are your strengths, but the way to do it is through the I did, I learned, and I will framework. So this is a very easy framework to remember. Instead of saying that you are hardworking or you have you have good communication skills, I want you to phrase it in this framework. That, for example, I did this activity, I learned something significant, and I will apply this learning to my future course. Okay, this shows both reflection and future application of your skills. So let's go through an example. If you're a management aspirant and you are the president of a school's business club. So what you can write is, I led the business club's entrepreneurship competition, which had over 100 participants from 10 different schools. By providing these numbers, you're giving more specifics and more color to what your actual activity and what your actual achievement was. Then you have to talk about what you learned from this experience, right? So I learned strategic analysis, team coordination, and deadline management. Then you talk about how you will apply these skills. So I will apply these skills in case studies and group projects throughout my university tenure. So instead of just saying that I'm the president of my school's business club, I I would suggest that you frame it in the I did, I learned, and I will framework, which gives you evidence of the claim that you're making, and it also helps you reflect upon what you learned from it and how you will apply it in future. Next thing, so again, a few more tips. Reflect on your personal growth. We don't expect any Mark Zuckerbergs or Steve Jobs to be applying. They are exceptions. We expect students who are have gone through certain ups and downs. So don't shy away from talking about your failures and specifically reflect on how you have grown from those and how it has changed your path. Don't give us boring, very jargon, heavy narratives. Give a like a little bit of a personal narrative. While it should be academic focused and career focused, you need to talk about your personal interests and your experiences in that subject. Another great way to assess your SOP without getting any formal assistance is that you share your first draft with a friend, teacher, or mentor and ask them to highlight the parts that stand out. Now, don't touch those parts. The ones which are already good, they are great. Now, focus on the other parts which they did not highlight and try and improve the sections which were either too generic, were confusing, redundant, or they were lacking in detail. Some general do's and don'ts for SOP, you should be concise. You should not exceed the word count that the university has specified. You should be specific and, like I've said, mention numbers, mention instances, mention names. Don't be ambiguous, vague, and generic. Showcase relevant experience and consistent skills. If you have taken up some activity 1 month ago before applying, we will see through that. Okay, we want to see super curriculars that you have done over the years, like you have committed to it for a few years, and they should also be relevant to your subject of study. Don't just give a laundry list of 100 things that you have done. Focus on the ones which are the most important, in which your commitment is the most deep. Follow a clear structure. Don't be repetitive. Don't beat around the bush. Focus on your passion and motivation. Don't use exaggerations or unsubstantiated claims. Be original, be honest. Don't be generic. Don't use AI to write the full essay. Guys, we have software now which detects AI and ChatGPT. While I love ChatGPT myself, and you can use it for ideas and use it for brainstorming, the ultimate SOP should be 100% written by you. And so don't think that we won't be able to tell. We will be able to. Do proofread for spelling and grammar. Don't use informal language and abbreviations. And lastly, give an academic focused narrative and don't leave your SOP for the last minute. If any third year students here, this is the right time because I think your application deadlines are somewhere around May, June. So it's good if you can start working on your SOP from now itself. Also, yeah, some cliches. Like I said, we read around, thousands of SOPs every cycle, and we've heard it all and seen it all. So if you think that you're the only one sending us these lines, that's not true. So try and be authentic, write it in your own words, and as I said, try and substantiate everything that you're saying with evidence and avoid these cliches. All right. Any questions so far before I move into the second section, which is about St. Andrews?
No, mom.
No questions? Okay, fine. Uh, right. So talking about St. Andrews, the University of St. Andrews is the first university that was ever made in Scotland. It was founded in 1413. It is the third oldest university in the English-speaking world. It has 700 years of reputation, history, tradition, and academic excellence. It was ranked #1 university in the UK by The Guardian in 2024. Of course, our most illustrious alumni are Prince William, the future King of England, and Kate Middleton, the future Queen of England. And we also have other notable alumni like author J.M. Barrie, Nobel laureate Sir James Black, and Sir John Boyd. Um, we accept around 1 in 10 applicants, and we have 89% of our research is classed as world leading, and students have rated us as the most positive college experience in the UK in a survey. And 96% of our graduates find work within 15 months of graduation. So where is St. Andrews? If you all are all familiar with the UK, the capital of England is London. The capital of Scotland is Edinburgh. London to Edinburgh is around 4.5 hours. St. Andrews is a small town 1 hour further away from Edinburgh. So you are 1 hour away from Edinburgh, around 5.5 hours away from London by train. And of course, Edinburgh is linked with all the international airports, right? The town itself is a small coastal town with beautiful long sandy beaches. As soon as you step out of your classrooms, you will see a lot of natural beauty as well as a lot of ancient architecture. The town population is around 22,000 people, out of which 10,000 are students. So it is very much a college town. It's also the home of golf. If we have any golfers here, we have 7 public courses, including the oldest golf course in the world. And it's a safe haven. We have an extremely low, almost negligible crime rate. We offer different types of masters at St. Andrews. You have masters of letters, which is achieved within 1 year of full-time study, where 2/3 of the degree is taught and 1/3 comprises of a dissertation. You have masters of science for science subjects, or those subjects with a practical component. And we also have postgraduate certification and postgraduate diploma. And we also have some online degrees, which you can check out at the link that I have provided. Masters of Arts, just quick trivia. Masters of Arts we don't have, because actually our bachelor's degree is called Masters of Arts. So it's just ancient, terminology. M.Lit is what in India we known as MA, okay? And BA in what we know in India is called MA in Scotland. So it's just a difference of terminology. M.Lit is actually the same as MA. So we offer Masters in Science, Masters in Arts, okay? Yeah, this is a long list of all the subjects that we offer Masters in. I'll just leave you to go through this later. Take a screenshot if you have to. Um, here as well. I'm going to focus, since you all are Xavier's and you all are, I was told majority of you are from business related courses. So I will focus on the master's degrees that we have, which are related to business. So we have international business, M.Lit, we have a MSc economics, MSc finance, M.Lit marketing, MSc entrepreneurship, M.Lit management, banking and finance, finance and economics, finance and management. So these are the main degrees that we have. They're all 1 year programs. They're all in person at St. Andrews itself. They all have slightly different focuses, and which you can explore on our website in detail exactly what modules are involved in each of these masters. The entry requirements for all of the courses that I mentioned are going to be somewhat similar to what I'm talking about right now. There might be few more specific requirements per course, so I would advise you to go and check each course out on our website to make sure you have each course's requirement. But in general, these are the requirements. For bachelor's degree, you need to be having a 3 year bachelor's degree, and the grade should be anywhere between 60 to 80% or a 7 to 9 CGPA, depending on the institution you have attended. In case you are not sure of what the grade should be, you can email us and we will check your institution in our list and we will let you know. We also need a CV, which includes your personal details, your history of education and employment, the personal statement or the SOP, as we say, explaining why you have chosen the program, why you've chosen this subject, why you want to study at St. Andrews, which will be 500 words. We need one academic reference letter. We need your academic transcripts and degree transcripts, and also English language proficiency tests, which typically we see IELTS. We accept other tests as well. You can check them out on our website, but typically we accept IELTS. Okay, so since we have a lot of students from the business background on in this seminar, I wanted to talk about entrepreneurship support at St. Andrews. St. Andrews has the entrepreneurial education and entrepreneurship center. This aids students and alumni in their entrepreneurial journeys. So we have different projects and different campaigns, things like Innovation Sprint, Enterprising Mind of the Year Award, and different events which are organized, which will help you develop entrepreneurial skills. We also help postgraduate to get coaching and tutoring through the summer teams enterprise program, the STEP program. And it will also help you if you have a startup in mind, which you have either just started or are just ideating. You can get all the support that you want from the Entrepreneurship Center. We also help students do one-on-one mentoring and connect you with investors and help you scale and build out your business. Okay, and also help you do networking with other entrepreneurs. So these are the kind of unique things that we offer for entrepreneurship. Apart from that, St. Andrews has 140 nationalities represented in their student body. We have approximately 40 to 50% of the students are international students. We have 180 clubs and societies, 50 sports that are offered, and round the clock well-being support. So if you are wanting to, apart from your academics, enroll in clubs or sports, or have a community, you will definitely find whatever you need at St. Andrews itself. Our career cell is very dedicated. Like I mentioned, 96% of our graduates find work within 6 months of graduation. We have a dedicated career service team. When you come to St. Andrews, you will be connected to a careers counselor who will help you draft out your resume, draft out your uh, you know statements that you might be requiring for your job application. They will help you do mock interviews. On campus, we have a ton of career events and fairs. We have industry expert talks, and we connect you with our alumni in all the big companies and the big industries, uh, in all the different industries that are there. So we will do everything on our end to help you get your foot in the door and to help you get that interview and help you crack that interview. And of course, then the rest is up to you, your hard work and your luck. Quickly touching upon tuition fees, the hi, did we get disconnected?
Yes, ma'am, but we are still live.
Okay, so I'll just reshare. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, right. The fees is around 30 lakh rupees. And that's just the tuition fee. Accommodation cost will range from 4 to 10, 4.5 lakhs to 10 lakh rupees. We do offer a range of scholarships. Scholarships are mainly merit based. So the higher your marks and the better your profile, the more likelihood you will be to get a scholarship. And you can also apply to external scholarships. All these details are there on our website. And I will leave you to explore that, and please come back to me if you have any questions on this. The last thing I want to talk about is the advantage, right? The Scotland advantage as well as the St. Andrews advantage. I'm sure a lot of you are considering schools main in central London, in different parts of of England. So why Scotland? Well, as I mentioned in the start, from once you have a graduate visa, 2-year visa, and that runs out, then you have to apply for a skilled worker visa. And when you're applying for a skilled worker visa, then you have to have a job which fulfills a minimum salary threshold, right? Now, if you're applying within Scotland, then Scotland has a shortage occupation list. This just means that it has job categories which a lower salary threshold, which are easier to qualify for visa conditions. Apart from that, Scotland has a strategy for transformation, which is why they are focusing on attracting skilled graduates, especially in AI, fintech, data science, and renewable. The cost of living is generally cheaper compared to central London. And there are also some policies which encourage graduates to work in less populated Scottish regions. What is the St. Andrews advantage? Why should you choose St. Andrews? Well, if you are looking for a very immersive academic experience, then St. Andrews is the place for you. We have small teaching, uh, like small classroom sizes, and the teacher to student ratio is good, and you'll get more face time with your faculty. The whole environment is very, like I said, it's a college town, so you're away from other distractions and you're very immersed in the academic experience. The relationships that you will build with your peers and your teachers will be very close, and it's a very tight-knit community. We pride ourselves in our internationally diverse student body. So you will not end up in a classroom which is majority of students are from, your home country, which for me personally, it kind of defeats the purpose of going to study abroad. You want to study abroad so that you get exposure to multicultural thoughts and perspectives. Also, St. Andrews has 700 years of reputation of academic excellence and has a global alumni network. So these are some of the reasons why you can consider Scotland and why you can consider St. Andrews in specific. That's my contact details. I'm Akriti. I'm based in Kolkata. I live close by to Xavier's. So feel free to reach out. That's my email, and you can even find me on LinkedIn. Just send me a message or an email, and I'm happy to meet you. We can do review your profile. We can answer any questions that you may have about studying in the UK or studying at St. Andrews in particular. Thank you so much. Let's open the floor for any questions.
Yes, ma'am. There's some issues with the chat box. I feel just give me a second because that is where the people are not able to send in the questions.
Okay, no problem.
Hello, ma'am. Uh, I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not able to access the chat box, so I'll just ask the question here.
sure.
Uh, Ma'am, what is the what's the scenario of the accommodation near the campus, and how well is how would be the traveling accommodation from the college to the campus allocation, like hostels and other accommodation that we can provide to students?
Yeah, thank you for that question, Hardik. That's a good question. We have 10 residence halls on campus itself. which accommodate like postgraduate as well as undergraduate students. So if you apply early enough, you will be able to get a spot in one of our residence halls, which is all walking distance from our campus, right? Situated in and around our campus. Apart from that, you have other, like you can take rent an apartment in the St. Andrews town. The biggest town near St. Andrews is Dundee, which is around half an hour by bus. You can take an apartment in Dundee as well. So these are the options. If you're choosing to stay in our residence halls, you have options like a private room with a private washroom, a shared room with a shared washroom, with or without kitchen access. So these are the different, kind of categories of accommodations you can choose as per your liking, and the cost of the accommodation will differ accordingly. If you are not staying on campus in our residence halls, and if you're staying in, say, Dundee or a little bit on the outskirts of St. Andrews, then you can use the public bus system. It's at very, I think it's free or it's very less cost for to come to campus every day, and the commute will not be more than 30 minutes. That is, if you live in Dundee, like that's the longest commute you will be looking at.
All right. Thank you.
So, others also, if you have a question, just unmute yourself and just ask.
Can you just share something on like how, the students can gain a scholarship and financial aid for, applying to colleges like St. Andrews?
Sure, scholarships are merit based, okay? Unless people from students from very underprivileged background can apply for financial aid or need-based scholarship also. Majority of you, I believe, will be applying for merit-based scholarship. So the stronger your grades are, the better your grades, the stronger your profile, the more likelihood that you will get the scholarship. So first you apply for admissions, and then you will be invited to apply for the scholarship. And apart from internal scholarships that St. Andrews offers, which can be anywhere from a few $1,000s to, we do in rare, very rare and amazing cases offer fully funded also. But I mean, that's how exceptional your profile needs to be to qualify for that. You can also apply for external scholarships. There are certain scholarships offered by British Council and other institutions. So I would all this information is there on our website. You can DM me or and I can send you the link. For scholarship, you may be required to write an additional reference, write an additional essay, and provide an additional recommendation letter. But it really depends. So, and it's course specific, and which cycle you're applying. If you're applying this year, next year. So, I would not give any general instructions on this. I would ask you to reach out to me when you are applying, and I'll be able to provide more specific instructions based on your scenario.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So, let's just take one last question, and then everyone else can email me if they have any questions.
Ma'am, there's this one chat in the YouTube that like,
Mhm.
what is the St. Andrews academic structure like compared to the other UK colleges?
Uh, what is the St. Andrews academic structure? I'm not sure I understand the question. For the master's program, the structure is the same for St. Andrews and for any other college. It's a 1 year taught master's degree. If you're talking about undergraduate, then there's a difference because typically undergraduate in UK is 3 years, but in Scotland it's 4 years degree. So I'm not sure if you're referring to undergraduate or postgraduate.
I guess it would be postgraduate.
So then there's no difference in the structure between your like it's the same structure, academic structure across whether you're studying in England or Scotland for postgraduate is the same. The major difference is in undergrad. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. If you have any other questions, please email me. I had put up my contact information earlier. You can go back and screenshot that. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn. I keep writing some tips and guides on applications there as well. So, and you can follow St. Andrews Instagram. You can follow St. Andrews LinkedIn. And yeah, I live in Kolkata, so feel free to reach out to me in person as well. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
I had a question. Does St. Andrews offer work study programs or on-campus jobs, like for international students?
So no, as a policy, we don't have like any 100% guaranteed campus placements or work study programs. You might have certain courses in which you can do internship as part, like for credit, but the onus of getting an internship or getting a job is on you. We provide you all the support possible, all the resources and support possible to get the job and to get the internship. And we'll help you get in the door, get an interview, crack the interview, but at the end of the day, you have to do the work. And there will be very few reputed colleges who will, kind of guarantee a job, whether it's a Harvard or an Oxford also. The job, getting a job, the onus is on you. There are other colleges who may offer certain of these things, but most of the top colleges will just provide you the resources.
Okay, ma'am.
Sure.
as we wrap up with this insightful session, I would extend my sincere gratitude to you for sharing your invaluable knowledge and experience with us. Applying abroad can seem overwhelming, but ma'am, your knowledge has provided us with a clear roadmap, helping us understand the process in a structured and practical way. On behalf of the Marketing Society of the St. Xavier's College, I thank you and all our attendees for being a part of this session. We hope you found it enriching and look forward to seeing you at our future events. Thank you so much and have a great day ahead.
Thank you, Bhavya. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
It would be good if like you could just share your contact number for those people who will be interested in contacting you. You can just
Okay.
share it to us personally. We'll just put it in the live chat and everything.
Okay. I don't want this number to go on YouTube.
No, ma'am, it will be only for the society members if someone wants to
So
contact you. In that way.
Shatakshi from the society and Yash from the society have my number. Just take it from them.
Sure, ma'am.
Sure, okay. And my email is there. If you send me an email and it's one person, I can share my number with you.
Sure. Thank you, ma'am. Have a
Okay,
great day.
thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.